Welcome to NFM Market Perspectives.
NFM Market Perspectives, Monday Outlook, August 25th, 2025. Good morning and welcome back. We're stepping into another event-heavy week with earnings from Nvidia, Alibaba, and the Canadian banks, plus fresh GDP and inflation reads. Let's set up the playbook. S&P 500 pre-market pulse. From the heat map, we see a broadly risk-on session. Tech leadership is clear. Tesla surged more than 6%, Amazon and Google both climbed over 3%, and Nvidia added nearly 2%. Apple and Microsoft followed with solid gains, while Oracle and Palantir extended recent strength. Financials were also green, led by Citigroup, Bank of America, and Visa, while energy majors Exxon and Chevron posted near 2% moves higher. The weak spots were in telecom, with T-Mobile and Verizon sliding, and consumer defensives like Walmart and Costco also leaning red. The tone bullish skew driven by mega-cap tech, consumer cyclicals and financials, with defensive sectors lagging. Tariffs and the Sneakflation debate. Tariffs remain the market's central macro story. President Trump insists foreign governments are paying, but mounting research shows the costs are trickling to U.S. firms and households. Goldman Sachs now estimates that about 2/3 of the tariff burden is being passed to consumers, a share expected to climb towards 70% by year-end. This slow-burn impact, sometimes called sneakflation, means costs are being spread quietly across supply chains, showing up in categories like household goods, apparel, and sporting equipment. Walmart's CEO admitted costs are rising every week, but said the company will try to absorb them as long as we can. Canada added a wrinkle last week. Prime Minister Mark Carney removed retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods covered under CUSMA, though levies on autos, steel, and aluminum remain. That de-escalates some pressure, but leaves sensitive sectors exposed. For investors, the takeaway is that tariff pass-through may accelerate into the fall, creating a stealth inflationary pulse even as headline CPI remains subdued. Economic calendar to watch. Here are the week's high-impact events. MON, U.S. building permits, new home sales, FOMC's Williams speaks. Tuesday, Japan CPI, U.S. durable goods, Case-Shiller Housing Index, consumer confidence, GDP now update. WED Canada wholesale sales, U.S. crude inventories, FOMC's Nakagawa speaks. THU, U.S. Q2 GDP, jobless claims, core PCE prices, pending home sales, Canada current account, ECB minutes, Japan Tokyo CPI, industrial production. FRI U.S. core PCE, personal spending, Michigan sentiment, Canada Q2 GDP, ECB's DeGuindos speaks, Baker Hughes rig count, CFTC positioning, China PMIs over the weekend. The highlights, U.S. GDP and PCE inflation on Thursday and Friday will be the key volatility catalysts. Key earnings this week. Monday, PDD Holdings, Grupo Mexico, HEYCO, Telcom Indonesia. Tuesday, Bank of Montreal, Bank of Nova Scotia, Fortescue, MongoDB, Okta, PVH. Wednesday, Nvidia, RBC, CrowdStrike, Meituan, Snowflake, HP, NetApp. THU, Alibaba, TD, Dell, Canadian Imperial Bank, Marvel, Autodesk, Williams-Sonoma, Dollar General, Li Auto. Free Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, China Construction Bank, Bank of China, Frontline, BRP. SAT, BYD, Yankuang Energy. Nvidia and Alibaba stand out as the week's marquee reports, with Canadian banks also in focus. IPO watch 3 names are debuting. August 26th, Curanex Pharmaceuticals, NASDAQ. August 28th, Picard Medical, NYSE, Papa Medical, NASDAQ, Feos Technology Holdings, NYSE. Healthcare dominates this week's IPO slate, offering fresh exposure to biotech and medical innovation. VIX check. The VIX closed near 17, down more than 8% on the week, as volatility continues to grind lower from spring highs. Futures positioning shows commercial hedgers adding longs, while large speculators are heavily net short. A move back above 19 to 20 would flash caution and signal risk-off. Otherwise, the setup favors continued calm and steady risk appetite into data-heavy sessions. Bonus section, ETF and stock setups. ETF pick, QQQ, NASDAQ 100 ETF. With mega cap leadership back in play, QQQ remains the cleanest way to ride tech momentum. Technicals show the index bouncing firmly above support, with Ichimoku and MACD both constructive. Tactic, buy pullbacks near cloud support with stops just below. Scale out into strength at recent highs. Nvidia, NVDA. Ichimoku shows price holding near the cloud with MACD crossing upward, momentum constructive. Levels to watch, support around 177.5. Breakout potential if price clears 178.5. Bias, bullish into earnings with defined stops. Alibaba, BABA. Trends softer with price slipping below the Ichimoku cloud and MACD still negative. Support rests around 122.5, with resistance near 123.3. The setup argues for caution into Thursday's report. Volatility likely, with earnings the catalyst to shift trend. Investor takeaways. Mega-cap tech is steering risk appetite, but defensives are lagging. Tariff sneakflation is building quietly. Watch retail and consumer categories for early signs. Data density spikes midweek, with U.S. GDP and PCE inflation as key drivers. VIX staying under 17 supports risk-on bias, but keep hedges in place for a surprise spike. Trade the week with focus on QQQ, Nvidia, and Alibaba as catalysts. See you Friday for the full recap and scorecard on these picks.
Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe and share this with others. See you next time on Anna from Market Perspectives.